On my 50th anniversary of war. Since October 7th, the Israel-Palestine war has come into my daily journal, the same war that came into my journals in years before. But the feel is different, even more ominous. And it seems the war has only just begun. Each morning I wake, I wonder, what has gone on during the night? Yes, as a Jew, an American Jew of conscience, my interest in Israel-Palestine isn't issue-oriented. Israel-Palestine strikes at the core of my being. What does it mean to be Jewish? I speak now after October 7th, with the reports of the mass killing of Jewish Israelis too much to bear. I speak now after October 8th, with the reports of the mass killing of Palestinians too much to bear. Some of this, usually on a smaller scale, still horrific, has been occurring year after year. But here, we are only beginning. God help those in the line of fire, Palestinian and Jew. Stop the killing. It is already too late for too many. Shall the world stand by as more and more Palestinians and Jews are killed? With no direction at home, it seems, no off-ramp in view, no resolution in the air, just more of the same. Backwards we go to a new bottom. All the claims of self-righteousness ring hollow. Even the negotiators for peace are enablers of war. Stop the killing. Interrupt and end the cycle of violence and atrocity that has defined Israel-Palestine, the Middle East region, and the broader world for so long. As a Jew of conscience, I've been involved in the question of Israel-Palestine since 1973, when I visited Israel on a dare from my Hebrew school teacher, who, when I asked him if he had met any Palestinians on his post-1967 travel to Israel, his manner changed. He grew angry. You don't know anything, his voice raised. You've never been there. Which I hadn't. And like most American Jews at the time, I knew little, if anything, about Israel. I wasn't pro or anti-Israel. I was curious about what I had been reading in the news. So when in 1973, while studying in Europe, I had a chance to fly to Israel, I did. It was October 1973. Yes, as the 1973 war broke out, I was there. So I am observing my 50th anniversary of war this month. An ominous anniversary, to be sure. My travel to Israel prompted future visits. Each visit, in 1984 to start, troubled me more deeply. It was then I started meeting Palestinians on their home ground, in Jerusalem, the West Bank, and yes, in Gaza. Jewish empowerment after the Holocaust, so necessary, had gone wrong. I had to speak out about the injustice I saw and felt with my own eyes. I had to find my voice as a Jew. So in 1985, in an essay, and then in a 1987 book, I struggled to put words to my anguish as a Jew. Would we, for so long oppressed, become in relation to the Palestinian people an oppressor? No, our tradition called for justice among Jews and toward others. It simply couldn't be that we would embark on a program of dislocation, deprivation, and occupation of another people. It simply couldn't be, but we had, we have, we are. So was born my life's work, creating and exploring the contradictions of emerging from powerlessness, becoming powerful, and using that power against another people, the Palestinian people. The title of my project and book, Toward a Jewish Theology of Liberation. Could it be, I asked, that overcoming our powerlessness and suffering, instead of being liberating, we had become enslaved to our own power? 35 years after I began this exploration in text and speech, through thick and thin, we as Jews have arrived once again at this question. Has our power liberated us? Or do we look, feel, and act too much like those who oppressed us, with the same bravado, the same fears? Surely we cannot rest easy in the complexities of our empowerment or point the finger only at others, especially when our vast armaments are used to occupy, displace, blockade, and yes, murder innocent civilians. We are bombing and invading a defenseless people. There's no way around this reality. As if bombing Gaza into oblivion, invading its environs, blockading the necessities of life, food, water, fuel, as if these actions over decades now will set Jewish Israelis and Jews around the world free. Liberation is more than power, much more. If the Holocaust is our touchstone, let it be a bridge of solidarity toward all those who are suffering, including and especially the Palestinian people, rather than using the Holocaust as a blunt instrument of self-righteousness and oppression. Those on the other side of Israel's power have their own responsibility. They must negotiate in good faith and seek a solution that protects lives under their control and projects a future that is more than military and religious invective. This goes for the supporters of Palestine in the Arab world. Get real, deal honestly. Often Palestinians seem like pawns in other regional power games. Do you want a free Palestinian state, or do you, for your own purposes, want to contain Palestinians for the broader advantages with the United States, and yes, with Israel, that such containment offers? We are left with the challenge ahead. As people of faith, whatever tradition we come from, as secular people, wherever we live, to all parties, find a solution that allows Jews and Palestinians to live with one another in justice and peace. Begin with a ceasefire, then end the blockade, then end the occupation. Stop holding a people hostage, for God's sakes, for ours.